Hi guys and welcome. I'm Buddy 1927 and this is Medieval Engineers. I had to do a reboot. The game froze on me. Then I couldn't get it loaded, so I deleted it. So I'm starting from scratch. So stay tuned, I'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome back. I have picked a location. We're in the same area. This is where my old castle is going to be, but I'm thinking about having my castle over here. One of the things though I want to do is set up a mining farming area. There's a lot of iron around here, as you can tell. There's lots of copper around here, as you can tell. And of course there's lots of rock. And all this area is basically copper and iron. And there's some tin right over there. So I got copper, tin, and iron ore available to me. And what I like to do is set this area up here for farming. I guess I need to cook. So what I'm getting ready to do right now is I'm gonna wipe this forest out here, and I'm thinking about building my I'm gonna start off with a log house, pretty big, so I can do storage, and then in turn what I will do is use it as a farmer's house and storage until I can build my I need some more stone until I can get my farm up and running. Get my farm up and running, then build get a small farm up and running, then go ahead and build a storage facility for the mine. And what I'm going to do is actually build in this storage facility my 3 windmills. Here's somebody running. My 3 windmills, and go from there. So what I need to do right now is place my crafting table up, or set my crafting table up. I need to go ahead and craft the hammer. What do I need for a hammer? I need timber. So let me make a couple timbers real quick. But I will create my sawmill, of course my plank mill, timbers and sticks. 5 sticks. Yeah. So I'm basically starting from scratch. So I gotta go through the quest. I gotta go through all the quests again. And I'm starting from scratch, guys. I'm sorry to say. I am saddened to say. Where do I build a campfire? I got the 9. I got the small stones. I got 10. So where do I craft? Fire. I don't believe this. I can't craft. Oh, there it is. Duh. I'm blind and one eye can't see out of the other, so forgive me, guys. I'll go ahead and just put my campfire there. I haven't found any vegetables. I have found berries. And the other thing I want to do is I actually want to build a tunnel going straight through to the other side, on the other side of this mountain, because on the other side of the mountain is woods, mushrooms, and stuff like that. So that's the next thing I want to do, is build that there. So what I'm going to do right now is I need to get crafting on the building. I'm doing the basic building. I'm doing civil engineer basic building. And if you're persistent, yeah, end up getting what you need. I need to build a dresser so I can turn it back into a male. And this. So this area would be the mine and the farming area, and the town or the kingdom I'm building is called Grantham. Grantham is a town in England, but it's also a very small town in Goldsboro, outside of Goldsboro, North Carolina, where I lived until moving back in, where I had to move in with my mom because I can't. She's supporting me while I'm waiting for my disability, if I ever get it. But I was on the fire department there. I was on the rescue squad there. And I also worked there for the county, Wayne County. I got transferred. I got transferred there. I was living in Salston, and I got transferred there. It was on the other side of the county. And the community, this was great. So I decided to go ahead and live there. So that's what I did. I moved there, and I lived there for 12 years. And when I got injured at work and could not work no more, I actually had people in the community help me with getting me food, bringing me food, because they know I couldn't get out. Because I helped the community so much I mean, a lot of people in the town would call me before they would call 911. Hey, my mom's not feeling good. Can you come check her out? If I'm not at work and not busy doing something. I ended up being assistant chief of the rescue squad, and I was an engineer for the fire department. I taught rescue classes at the fire department because the role of EMS changed when the county took over, and all the rescue squads had to give up their rescue gear and give it to the fire department. So Grantham Fire Department took over the rescue duties from Grantham Rescue. So Grantham Rescue was just turned into just a voluntary backup ambulance for Grantham. They still had and at Grantham Rescue we had the paid personnel stationed at the squad house, and the fire department's right next door. So when I was working there, I could run next door to the fire department at night if we didn't have radio on me, and if I didn't, I could teach classes on rescue and stuff like that. I also assisted. We had a regular teacher for our Con Ed and EMS, and I would assist our teacher from the college with those classes because the squad was an intermediate level, and one of the things I taught was how the rescue squad, how the personnel from the rescue squad can help the paramedic. And we had a good, when I was assistant chief, we had a good working relationship with Grantham, with the county. And as a matter of fact, we were the last standing volunteer rescue squad or EMS squad left in the county because all of them stopped answering calls. They had a big fight with the county. They thought the county was taking them over, and we worked with the county, and they kept our these sticks. They made sure that we always had an ambulance, and they allowed the officers, the lieutenant, the captain, the assistant chief, and the chief to have radios, portable radios, so they can check in route over the radio. So if the paid squad is the paid squad is that way the paid people would, if they called for assistance, they knew we were on our way. Now as not captain, but as assistant chief, I was in charge of operations of the squad. The chief is administration. So on scene, I became in charge of the scene, even with the paid people. Of course, I was also a paramedic, but our squad was intermediate level. But the paramedic on scene. Basically, the paid person would be in charge. Now, at the fire department, even though I was just an engineer, which is a guy who operates the trucks, that's basically and drives the trucks and does the operation. We had the rescue squad, and at any pin-ins and stuff like that, no matter the on-scene officer, I was in charge of the rescues. So I always checked in with the fire department as Grantham Rescue Car 2 en route. That was my call signal. And if I was responding in my POV, or if I was responding, if I got to the station and had to get the squad out, if I had a driver for the engine there, because I only lived a mile from the station, so I was usually the first one there. So if we had a pin in, we would go ahead and, if it's in our district, we would go ahead and respond the rescue squad. Now, if I would respond the rescue squad, or if there was a driver for the squad, I would ride as OIC in charge of the I'm doing two quests here at once. In charge of the squad. So any pin-in or any rescue operations that the Rescue Squad 19 did, I was in charge of. If the chief was on scene, I was in charge. If the assistant chief was on scene, I was in charge. They would be in charge of the scene, I would be in charge of the rescue. Of course, I would communicate and tell them exactly what I need and what I need to do. Oops, come on. Okay, I need to let's do this. I'll make a bunch of timbers. I'll make one set of timbers, and I'll make one set of planks. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's what I did. So this is the reason why I'm calling it. And actually, my name, Buddy 1927. The 1927 was my last call ID number for the fire department. I was on the Grantham Rescue. I was 527, even though I was a chief, but we all had ID numbers. And car 2 wasn't an ID number. It was a call sign on the radio, but it wasn't a call sign. It wasn't your ID number. So I was Grantham Rescue 527, and the 5 stood for the station 5, and 27 was your ID number. And 1927 was my ID at the fire department. 19 stood for the fire department number, and 27 was my ID number. So it was easy to remember. And I use, because I volunteered for 35 years as a firefighter and rescue person, and was paid for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I was paid and volunteered as an EMS worker. Even though my career and my passion was in EMS, because I did it for a living, I started out as a firefighter when I was 16 years old. And back where I came from, oh crap, I crafted the wrong one. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And even though I did both was my passions. Firefighting was my one true love. Firefighting and rescue working. Because when I first started out, I started out in Maryland, and the fire department did the rescues. When I moved to Virginia, I was on Virginia. You had your fire department, which I was a on-call firefighter for Norfolk Fire Department, where I live, but I was also a volunteer for Virginia Beach Rescue, which was volunteer. Now, on-call firefighter, what an on-call firefighter does is, if there's a major fire, they'll call you up and say, hey, we need you to respond to this fire. Or if somebody called out sick or got injured or something happened and their part-time people couldn't get in or couldn't come in, and if you were on the rotation, you get called in to work a shift or two. So I was also working 80 hours a week. But as a volunteer on Virginia Beach Rescue, we all took turns. Even though I lived in Norfolk, we would take turns. I would do a shift at Virginia Beach, because Virginia Beach Rescue handled all the EMS calls for Virginia Beach, and did part of the rescue call for Norfolk and Virginia Beach. So I did both. And then when I did the stupid thing and got married and moved to Palm Beach County, Florida, I was working retail still. And I was what they called a standby firefighter for Palm Beach County. And I lived right down the station from one of the firehouses. And I would go down there, hang out as an extra firefighter when I was off, on my days off. And I'd be one of the first people that they would call if somebody called out sick or somebody was going on vacation. if I wasn't working, or if I can do half a shift or something like that, they would call me up and I would go ahead and fill in. So that's one of the things I did to keep my firefighting happy and going. Then when I moved to North Carolina, I joined Charleston Fire Department, and Charleston Fire Department had a first responder program, and Charleston was a volunteer fire department. I ended up being president of the fire company for 3 years, and I was captain, which means I was in charge of the first responders for 4 years. And the first responder program was sponsored by Goldsboro Rescue Squad, which was a volunteer squad, which I also volunteered for. Until I moved to Grantham, I still volunteered at Goldsboro. I still volunteered, did shifts at Goldsboro. And Goldsboro, you had to volunteer 24 hours a week. Not 24 hours a week. 24 hours a month. And if you volunteered over 24 hours a month, I mean, everybody had to pull a shift. You can pull a 12-hour shift, or you can pull a 24-hour shift. And if you pulled a 24-hour shift, your commitment was met for that month, and you didn't have to do anything unless you responded to calls, stuff like that. But we always kept a paid crew, which was made up of volunteers. We've got, after your 24-hour shift, if you pulled another shift or something like that, you got paid for those shifts that you worked. So, and when I moved to Grantham, and I joined Grantham Rescue Squad, and I joined I was lieutenant at I was captain of the first responders for Charleston. I was a lieutenant at Goldsboro Rescue, and then I I forgot what I was doing. Sorry, guys. Then I started. Then I started volunteering at Grantham. Did a lot of stuff. I mean, I did a lot of stuff. What I'm trying to do is try to find a locking point. So okay, fine, be that way. Let's go ahead and build the ladder. 7. And I had to continue volunteering, and eventually I became assistant chief at Grantham Rescue, and I started off as a firefighter rescue because I already had my certification for North Carolina as a rescue worker and my certification as a firefighter for North Carolina. Of course, I was volunteering at another department. They started me off as a firefighter rescue, and about a year later, about a year after I joined the Grantham Fire Department, they promoted me to engineer. Basically, let's just say, let me put it to you. It's a rank. Firefighter would be a private. Firefighter rescue, because you had to be both in that department. Would be a corporal. An engineer. Now, we're all volunteers now. This department's 100% voluntary. That would be a sergeant. Because when, yeah, I think that's big enough. Because when the then you had lieutenants. You had 4 lieutenants, 2 captains, 2 assistant chiefs, and a chief. And I joined the fire department about the same time. The county took over Grantham Rescue and turned it into a paid station. So Grantham Rescue had to do all that, and they were getting their certifications geared up. So I became what they called a master sergeant in the department. I was an engineer, and because I was in charge of all rescues, if I was on scene, I was in charge of it. One of the things they promoted me to being in charge of the rescue side of the fire department, and while I was there, their plans was to make basically what the plans were supposed to be used was supposed to have an assistant chief in rescue, a captain in rescue, and 2 lieutenants in rescue. And then you would have 2 fire lieutenants, and then what was it? 2 fire lieutenants, 2 rescue lieutenants, 1 captain of rescue and volunteer, and 1 captain of rescue and fire. Then you have 1 assistant chief rescue and fire. 5, 6, 7. So, and what they were planning on doing is actually spreading out, and then they would have all the personnel that were certified as rescue personnel were the only ones that were allowed to operate the rescue truck and also the rescue equipment gear and stuff. So after I got injured and resigned from the fire department, they implemented the plan. I also resigned from Grantham Rescue too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So a lot of things changed after I left. Of course, nothing's going to stand still. Time does not stand still. The department's not going to stand still. So now I've been out for 5 years. So I'm doing YouTube now. So if I'm boring you guys, I am sorry. I started talking and didn't realize I was talking. But right now I'm just building my house. And eventually what this will become is... this is going to be my bedroom. This is going to be where I place my wardrobe for right now. And then I'll build the storage buildings and the 3 windmills. Oop. Oh, can I make them out? Yeah, I can make them out. So eventually I will I just want to tell you why I hadn't made a couple of these videos in a while, and this is the reason why. I found out it was a mod that I put in, and I got so frustrated didn't even think about checking the mods. And I had a red mod in there, and it was okay, but when they did the next update, it didn't meet the criteria of the update, and I still had it loaded, and that what caused all this. But I got so frustrated, I wiped it completely off my computer. I deleted everything and started fresh, and then came back, went back, automatically had, because it's on Steam, automatically had the mods. But because I wiped everything off my computer, I didn't have the save game. Because I'm playing on a private server, and I am playing survival mode. But no, gee, flooring. Don't need that anymore. This is going to be a big building. I just realized that. And my storage is going to be bigger. It's going to be a 10 by 10. What is this? I know this is a 3 by what? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is a 3 by 8 building. Of course, it's big. But I want to at least get the 4 walls up, and then I'll go ahead and start my smithy. And work on my steel tools, because I miss my steel tools right now. Yes, I do. And what the sad part is, I had all that stuff I was building. I was doing good. Luckily, I did have a blueprint. I do have a blueprint of my 3 mil engineers workshop / place. But we are going to do something different this time. So, and this is going to be storage for the mine. This is going to be storage for the farm, which will keep the seeds, all the food. I'll have the oven in here. Once I get there. So, y'all know this step. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and I'm just going to finish this up here real quick. If I have enough materials to finish this up. Which I don't think I do. Nope, I don't. I have enough for 2 more. 1 more. Okay, I'll just go ahead and stop here. This is Buddy 1927. No, I did not have a sec change. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and at the forums for medieval engineers. The links are down below. If you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button, and I hope and I'd like to thank you all for watching, and have a great day.